It's December 1st. It's 9 a.m. We're up and moving around. 2020's been kind of a rough kind of a year, so it just feels like the right time to go on a getaway. So this video is going to be about our trip to Getaway House. Me and my boyfriend went upstate New York to Catskills on our anniversary for on December 1st. On our way to the Catskills, we actually stopped at Catskills Falls. Since we were only there for a night, we wanted to make as much of an adventure as possible within one day. So I'm also not much of a hiker. I'm not much of an athlete anymore. I used to be an athlete, not anymore. I think us being from New York City area, us New York City folks are not equipped for the nature life. I'm in Tim's, in New York Tim's. We weren't prepared for what it would be to hike. I thought it was gonna be like a little hike. I've done hikes before, okay? I was wearing Tim's, he was wearing sneakers. Not a good idea, not really smart. Finally made it down to Catskills Falls, and it was beautiful. As we made it to the base of the waterfall, we can give you guys like a good view of what we see. It's beautiful. I was trying to put up my little Mavic Mini, and before we even got down there, we were actually stopped by another group of people walking the opposite direction, and they gave me foresight about putting my Mavic Mini up. They said it would probably not survive. They were right. I tried to be daring, and I tried to do it, but they were right. Putting my little Mavic Mini up with the rush of the water coming down, it was just throwing my little baby all around. But I got some shots. Next time I know that I need a bigger drone. We got some great, cute couple photos down there for our anniversary, and then on the way back up, going down was rough, but it wasn't that bad. It was just like, it's slippery, it's muddy, I don't really want to slip and die. Going back up though, yeah, I pretty much died. Clearly out of shape. You guys, I wanted to let you guys know that I did die on the hike. It's okay, I did die. Sherwin motivated me not to die there. But I'm glad we got Catskills Falls out the way. That was the first place that we went. We actually asked Getaway if we can get there a little early and do an early check-in, and they gave us early check-in of 2. Normally it's 3 o'clock. But because I died on the way back up the hike, we actually didn't get to Getaway House until 3. To the part of the video that you guys probably want to know about, Getaway House, like I said, it's in Catskills. It's about 150 square feet, a little tiny home on wheels. It's pretty much designed to let you disconnect from everything else. So there's not much internet service, there's not real cellular service, there's no TVs in there, and the point of the trip is to literally just decompress and get away. The cabin comes with all the things that you really need, and they really encourage you to pack light. It's a trip that they don't want you to kind of like overwhelmingly pack for, because most of the things they have there. The thing is that you do cook yourself. You can either cook outside, or they have a stovetop inside the cabin that you can use. We'll get to cooking outside a little bit later in the film because well, there are a lot of amenities within the cabin, this little tiny space. Like I said, you have a stove, you have all your utensils, cooking utensils, tongs, aluminum foil. They actually had, and I didn't notice that they did, but they have aluminum foil, pots and pans. They have a radio that you can use as Bluetooth. They encourage you to put your phone away, but we did put our phones into the lockbox that they provided us, but we did play music from our phones from inside the lockbox. They have a shower, they have a toilet, running water, hot water, although the water doesn't stay hot for long. They do have hot water. They do have heat, and they also have AC, so depending on the time of year that you go, you will be comfortable within the cabin. They have a queen size bed, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's a queen size bed, and this big glass window just for you to look out and stare into nature. I think that's the highlight. That was a highlight for me of the cabin, just the view that you get. But they do have locations in different places. So they have some outside the city in Atlanta, outside the city of New York, outside the city of California. They're usually all within a 2-hour drive away from the big major cities, but I encourage you guys to check within your major city and see if there's a Getaway close by within the 2-hour distance. Most likely there is. So because we went during COVID, it was really important that we had a safe trip. So pretty much Getaway, when you get there or when it's your time to check in, they'll text you a code to use to get inside of your cabin. You really don't have to interact with anybody. There's a phone in case you need to contact people in case of an emergency, but for the most part it's a personless check-in. Also, there are other cabins located around the vicinity, so it's not like you're alone in the woods all by yourself, which could be kind of creepy. So there are cabins between like 50 and 150 feet away. I would say our cabins may have been like 100 feet or so away. You can see them, but you also really all you see is the cabin. You don't really see the people inside of it. So I find it to be very private yet very safe in case there is something that does happen, or you need somebody to run to. You do have the ability to kind of knock on somebody's door in case of an emergency. Like I said, they provide you with a lot of things. They encourage you to bring your own food so that you can cook, but they do have provisions, things for you to purchase, other hot cocoa and other things like that if you didn't bring those things with you and you want that. So those are good. We didn't really do that because I'm a Virgo and I plan for everything, and I brought everything, so I didn't need to buy anything extra. The one thing that we did do is use their firewood outside to make a fire. Guys, maybe it's just us, I don't know, but I will literally show you guys the conversation that we had about making dinner. The idea was to make dinner closer to dinner time.
You wanna go now?
Do you want to do it when it gets dark? It's gonna be dark at 5:30 though. So essentially we waited until it was pitch black outside to start a fire. One thing we've never done before was start a fire. Another thing that we've never done was start a fire in the darkness, in pitch black darkness, and then try and cook on said fire. You guys, we kind of dumb. So we waited till it was pitch black out to start cooking. Babe's over there. And we can't see shit. Here, like this.
Oh my God,
He's so dumb. We could have taken it inside and cooked inside, but the goal of this trip was to cook outside on that fire pit. That was the goal. So I commend my baby for sticking it out, getting the fire up, and cooking our food. One thing I do recommend to bring, especially if you're not used to cooking on an open fire, I usually cook with a thermometer. So we made chicken because we were making penne chicken pasta. Because the heat is not even, we had to keep moving and shifting the chicken around on top of the fire because it wasn't cooking evenly. The fire would go up and then it would kind of dwindle on one side, or the wind was blowing it forward and the food was behind it. So bring a thermometer just so you have an idea if you're not used to cooking on open fire, if your food is done or not. I recommend that. So let's talk about the price of Getaway. It's gotten really popular, to be honest, throughout the pandemic because it is such a safe way to enjoy a vacation without interacting with other people. The cost of one night was just over $350. I was able to use a student discount and get about 15% off of that, kind of brought it down a little closer to $300. It is pricey for one night, but I know back in the day before it got popular about 9 months ago, it was around $100 a night. So just keep that in mind. It is a little pricey just to decompress, but hey, you're paying for the aesthetic and you're paying for what else you pay for during these vacations nowadays in these social media worlds. I definitely recommend going in the winter time. I think it would be extra beautiful to wake up in the middle of a forest with snow everywhere, snow on the trees. I just thought it would be beautiful. So I would highly recommend a trip to Getaway in the middle of the winter. I do want to include that they have a fridge and no freezer, so don't come with ice cream or things like that need to stay super cold. One thing complimentary that they did give us that we didn't get a chance to use because we were too dumb and lit a fire in the middle of a dark forest was the s'mores kit. I really wish we could have gotten to use that, but I was very happy that they supplied that for us and gave that as a complimentary activity for us to do. They also do provide you with different games. As the Virgo myself, I did bring games, Uno. They don't have Uno, but they do have playing cards, they have dice. So all in all, I really enjoyed our time at Getaway. I felt super safe. I felt super safe. I also felt super relaxed. Me and my boyfriend got to just get to know each other on a different level. It was a great trip for me, a 1-year anniversary thing. I highly recommend. Do it with your girlfriends, do it with your boyfriend, your partner, whoever. I highly recommend this trip. I enjoyed it. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Now I'm gonna say the things that normal YouTubers say. Like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, blah, 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 blah. Seriously, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys on my next one. Peace.